I step into the reception hall. A sea of white tablecloths and crystal glassware stretching before me. The chandelier above spills light like liquid diamonds, illuminating the rose arrangements I meticulously selected. Pale pink blooms, soft and delicate, nestled against sprays of baby's breath. Everything is exactly as I envisioned it, down to the smallest detail. Except for one thing, the family table. I pause, my heels clicking loudly on the marble floor as I scan the rows of empty chairs. 1, 2, 3. Only 3 chairs, not 4. I blink. Sure, I've missed something. The family table, where I should be sitting, is incomplete, an empty space where I belong. A waiter brushes past, murmuring a quick apology. But I barely hear him. My heart is pounding as I stand frozen, gripping my clipboard like a shield. It's a cruel joke, but the punchline stings all the same. My mother's gaze catches mine, and she smiles. But it's too tight, too rehearsed. "Is everything ready for Sophia's entrance?" she asks. As if I'm just another employee, not her daughter. I gesture toward the table. There are only 3 chairs. My voice is steady, but my insides are roiling. She glances at the table, then back at me, her smile unwavering. "Yes. You don't need one." 2. The words land like a slap to the face. I feel my spine straighten, my jaw clench, but I don't show any of it. "I see," I reply, my voice as calm as ever. Then, without another word, I turn and walk away, my steps deliberate. The empty chair sits behind me like a final verdict, but I refuse to let it break me. Not today. I find a quiet corner near the service entrance, but the calmness is deceptive. My phone buzzes in my hand, the florist's name lighting up the screen. I swipe it open. "Olivia. We're still going forward because we trust you. But Sophia hasn't paid us." My stomach tightens. $4. 200. Transferred from my own account last week to cover the floral deposit after Sophia's card was declined. Another expense. Another sacrifice she'll never know about. Another silent contribution to her perfect day. I stare at my phone, the screen flickering with unread messages. A text from the caterer. "Final payment not received. Can we proceed with the meal?" Another from the lighting technician. "We need confirmation for the lights by 4 p.m. We haven't been paid." My hands are shaking slightly as I scroll through the messages. Each one feels like a punch in the gut. This is supposed to be the most important day of my sister's life. But all I see is the price tag, a price tag that's slowly unraveling everything I've worked so hard to create. The sound of heels clicking against the marble floor snaps me out of my daze. My mother. She's walking toward me, a glass of champagne in her hand. "Olivia," she says, her voice smooth but with an edge of impatience. "Is everything set up for the reception?" I glance at her, feeling the weight of the world pressing down on my shoulders. I want to scream, to tell her everything. But instead, I nod. Everything's perfect. My voice is a controlled calm. But inside, I'm crumbling. She smiles. But it's thin. Almost condescending. I'm sure it is. "You always get it done." And just like that, she's gone. Swept away by the crowd, leaving me standing in the shadows, my stomach knotting tighter with every word she said. I'm not part of this family. I never was. And she's made sure I'll never forget it. I take a deep breath, my hand gripping the clipboard, and turn to face what's coming next. I pull open the folder on my laptop, the dim light from the cafe casting long shadows over the screen. I can hear the faint murmur of the reception crowd through the walls. But it feels like I'm on another planet. The first thing I open is the mortgage statement for the family house. $1. 2 million. The balance stares back at me. But it's the second mortgage that catches my attention. 6 months ago, another loan was taken out. Almost identical in size. How could they have borrowed this much money? My fingers freeze on the keyboard as I click through to the next document: credit card statements. Overdue. 3 accounts. Payments missed for months. A text flashes on my phone, another reminder of what I already know. The florists are demanding the balance. But it's not just them. The caterers are asking for money too. And the lighting team's message is more urgent than the others. I scroll through the pile of statements, each one showing charges that add up to a life my family can't afford. But that's the least of it. The trust fund records are the ones I can't stop staring at. The Grandmother Lopez Educational Trust. I open the file slowly, feeling a cold knot twist in my gut. Last year, the balance was over $240. 000. Now it's down to $3. 421. I blink, my heart pounding in my chest. Every withdrawal in the last 8 months is marked S. Lopez Educational Expenses. The same 8 months Sophie was posting pictures of her lavish trips skiing in Aspen, sunbathing in Bermuda, sailing in the Mediterranean. I slam the lid of my laptop down, frustration boiling in my veins. They've been draining the trust fund while pretending to be financially struggling, while Sophie planned her dream wedding. I've been covering for them. I sit back, breathing heavily, trying to calm the storm of anger that threatens to spill over. My eyes move across the room, settling on the reflection of my perfectly composed self in the decorative mirror. But I don't feel composed. I feel like the walls are closing in, like I've been living in a lie. They took everything: my money, my time, my energy, and for what? To see Sophie walk down the aisle in a dress that's worth more than my entire student loan balance? I feel my phone buzz again. It's from the florist. Olivia. We need payment confirmation by 4 p.m., or we'll have to pull out. They don't know what's going on. But I do. I've been paying for their mistakes for years. Now it's time for them to face the music. I take a deep breath and start typing, my fingers moving with cold precision. The time for pretending is over. I find them in the corner of the reception hall. Sophie and my mother, whispering like they always do when they think no one is watching. I stand there for a moment, my clipboard tight in my grip. But the weight of what I've uncovered presses down on me, propelling me forward. I think it's time we talk, I say, my voice steady but cutting through their quiet conversation like a blade. Sophie looks up first, that familiar sneer creeping onto her face. About what? She asks, her tone dripping with disdain. I take a step closer, not giving her the satisfaction of backing down. About the trust fund. Sophie. About the money you've been draining. The money that was supposed to be for both of us. Not just for your trips to Aspen and Bermuda. I was dazed. Sophie blinks. But the mask doesn't crack. I don't know what you're talking about, she says, a little too quickly. Oh, I think you do, I reply, my eyes locking onto hers. You've been using it to fund your educational expenses. But funny, none of those expenses appear on your social media posts. Ski vacations, cruises, while I'm the one footing the bill for everything else. Just as existed unaided. My mother, who's been silent until now, steps in, her voice sharp. That's enough. Olivia, you don't know what you're talking about. You've always been the one who gets things wrong. And I glance at her, not bothering to hide the bitterness. I think I know exactly what I'm talking about. The house. The credit cards. The trust fund. Do you really think I wouldn't notice? You're making a scene, my mother says, her face reddening. This is not the time or place for this. 8. No. This is the time, I say, my voice cutting through the air like glass. You've taken everything from me. My time, my money, my love for this family. And for what? So you could make Sophie's wedding day perfect? Sophie's face twists with anger now, the mask finally slipping. You think you're better than me? You've always been jealous. Olivia. Jealous? I laugh, the sound bitter in my throat. No, I'm not jealous. I'm just tired of pretending. Tired of pretending that you and Mom didn't turn me into your personal bank account. Well, I'm done. Done. The words hang in the air, heavy with truth, and neither of them has the strength to argue back. My chest feels lighter with every word, but the weight of what I've lost still lingers. A reminder of everything I'll never get back. The chaos of the reception hall is starting to settle as I pull out my phone. The text messages flood in, but I don't bother reading them anymore. My hands shake slightly as I open the email I've been dreading. The subject line reads, "Notice of service suspension." I click it open, my eyes scanning the words, but I already know what it says. Due to non-payment, we must suspend all services. Effective immediately. I pause, letting the weight of it sink in. The hotel manager's number is already dialed when I step outside, away from the noise. He answers on the first ring. Olivia. Is everything all right? We've noticed you haven't been seated with your family. His voice is kind. Almost too kind. But I'm beyond pleasantries now. Everything's fine, I say, my voice colder than I intended. I've just decided to withdraw my company's guarantee for the event. There's a long pause before he responds. Olivia. Are you sure? The wedding. We need confirmation for the final payment by 4/2. I've given them 7 days to make payment, I reply, the words coming easier than I expected. They've ignored me. You'll need to cancel the event. I hang up before he can respond. And for the first time in years, I feel a sense of power flooding through me. The weight that's been on my shoulders for as long as I can remember lifts a little. I pull my phone back out, sending the same email to every other vendor still awaiting payment: florists, caterers, lighting technicians. My company's logo at the top of the page feels heavy with finality. A reminder that I'm no longer playing by their rules. It doesn't take long for the fallout to begin. The music cuts off suddenly, the string quartet packing up mid-song. Waiters start removing glasses, half-full champagne flutes disappearing as if they were never there. And there, in the middle of it all, stands my mother. Her face ashen. She's holding out her credit card to the hotel manager, the confusion written all over her face. What's going on? Why are they stopping everything? I don't wait to see what happens next. I turn on my heel and walk back into the reception hall. I see the chaos unfolding before me: Sophie's new husband, Mark, pacing near the half-dismantled wedding cake, his phone pressed to his ear. My mother's voice rises in desperation, but it's drowned out by the murmur of confused guests. Olivia, what have you done? She calls. But I don't stop. I don't even turn around. I'm done. I've spent too many years pretending. Too many years filling in the gaps where my family's love and loyalty should have been. They don't deserve my help. They don't deserve me. The photographer, Renee, catches my eye from across the room. Her camera clicks as she captures the moment, the unraveling of their perfect world. I don't flinch. But there's something satisfying about seeing them exposed. Seeing the mask slip. They're lost without me. I slip out of the hall, feeling lighter with every step. The weight of the years of neglect and manipulation falls away. I have nothing left to prove. I've walked away. And this time, I'm not looking back. The next morning, the phone buzzes relentlessly. I ignore the calls my father, Sophie, my mother, all demanding answers. But I don't owe them anything anymore. Instead, I open the bank statements again, running my fingers over the numbers that define this moment. The reality of what I've done settles deeper with each page I turn. I've severed every tie, every financial lifeline I once extended, and I realize there's no going back. The money I've spent to prop them up for so long isn't worth a single ounce of the respect I'll never get in return. A message from my attorney pings on the screen. The reminder of the contract I signed with Sophie's wedding vendors. The one I pulled out of with cold precision. The repercussions of that decision are already in motion. The venue's still empty. The decorators packing up as they wait for payment confirmation. And I wonder if they'll ever understand why I did it. The phone rings again, my mother. I answer, knowing this will be the final conversation. Olivia. She begins, her voice tight with anger. I don't know what you think you've done, but you've ruined everything. I lean back in my chair, glancing at the empty seat across from me. No. Mom, you did that long before I ever made this choice. Her words catch in the air between us. How can you do this to your family? We're falling apart. And you're just walking away. End quote. Maybe it's time we all fall apart. I reply, my tone level but firm. For once. Maybe it'll make us see things clearly. I've been carrying this family for so long. And I'm done. You can't expect someone to keep giving without ever receiving anything in return. She sighs. A long, drawn-out sound that feels like resignation. I didn't ask for this. She mutters. No. I say. But you expected it. There's a long silence on the other end of the line. And I imagine her sitting there, no longer in control. You've ruined your sister's wedding. Olivia. She'll never forgive you. I chuckle softly, the bitterness in my voice unmistakable. She'll be fine. She always is. I hang up before she can say anything else. I take a breath, the weight of it lifting as I sit back. It feels strange, free. Even but the emptiness still lingers. I was never enough for them. And now, they'll have to see what happens when I finally stand up for myself. The morning passes in a blur. Calls from vendors, lawyers, and the media all pile up. But I don't answer. I let it all pile up, knowing the storm is theirs to weather, not mine. Later that afternoon, I catch sight of a text from a close colleague. We've got that big client signing next week. Ready to take it to the next level? I smile, finally feeling the weight of real progress. For the first time, I'm doing something for myself, with no strings attached. I turn off my phone, put it away, and look out the window at the city below. There's something comforting in the silence. Something that tells me I've made the right decision. Even if the price was high, the future feels open now, not tied to the past. The road ahead is mine. And for the first time, I'm walking it alone. But I'm not afraid. I'm free. I've walked away. And now, silence fills the space I once inhabited. The weight I carried for so long is gone, replaced by an unsettling calm. The world feels wide open, like the first breath after years of holding it in. There's a power in choosing yourself, in finally understanding that self-respect isn't a luxury. It's a necessity. The road ahead isn't easy, but it's mine to walk now. And for the first time in years, I know exactly where I'm going. The empty chair at the family table wasn't a loss, it was my turning point.